Hi, my name is Joshua. I'm with Blue Phoenix Creative, and I was on Google and I put in construction companies in Plainville, Mass, and you came up in the three pack here. So I was on your website, and I was wanting to kind of like go over like how you can get a better result from people that click into your website. I didn't see you doing any ads or anything, but if you are doing ads, then it would also help with that. So like if you get if you're converting leads 1% on your website, you can convert that to two. If you are doing ads, you can cut your ad spend, basically in half because they don't need to send as many, clicks to your site. But even if it's just via SEO or something like that, it's kind of the same principle, right? Except you just don't have the money involved. But you're converting faster, which helps you get more leads. Um, so one thing is, I'm going to use another site, and I realize this site is not a direct competitor, but I want to kind of use this because they have a really good format here. Um, and I want to go right here. So discover a partner you can trust to bring your vision to life, right? So this is all about positioning. This company's positioning themselves as the mentor, as the trusted partner, as the guide, guiding them down their journey of getting this thing done, right? So whether it's somebody who's a seasoned, a fairly seasoned developer or something, and they kind of know what or maybe it's but maybe they just don't know everything, and you're able to come in and provide that expertise. Or if it's a secretary who's never, called about this type of stuff and needs that reassurance and I feel like your website does a good job of communicating to somebody who really knows what they're talking about, but it might be that somebody doesn't know what they're talking about, like calls you and doesn't know much about site work um, you know and like a lot of companies, and I'm sure you probably fall into this category, but look, well, they'll do a good job with the sales process one on one, and they say, well, my website doesn't sell anything, and it's like, yeah, well, if all you're saying is like, this is what we do, then it's not that same experience that they get when they're face to face, and I want to look again. I want to look at this other site. So they kind of set that conversation here, and then it says, "We understand that choosing the right home professional to build your dream space can be a daunting task." So it's like affirming, the secretary's fear who's calling about getting site work done, right? Like it's like we know you've maybe never done this before. Like maybe you don't say it that way, but like that's the feeling they get. Like they already know they haven't done it before, and they don't necessarily know what they're looking for or whatever, and you're kind of reassuring that this is going to be a smooth, you're going to help them, guide them to the destination type thing. And then because those are the people who are on your website, they're delegated to reach out to you, and it's like we although you may in the end be dealing with the company owner or the project manager or something like that, like the secretary also is kind of a gatekeeper, of course. So communicating on your website to the person who doesn't necessarily know it all and isn't necessarily completely familiar with the process, um, probably really helps. It will help them to prefer you over others if they're the ones screening companies to call on, right? So I think that's beneficial to kind of look at that. But to keep going here, you need the knowledge to make the best decisions for your home and feel secure in your partnership with your contractor. So again, it's reconfirming that sense of partnership, and kind of setting this company RWC is positioning themselves as an expert, and they're letting them know you need the knowledge to make the best decisions, and that's the benefit of having a partnership with somebody who knows what they're talking about, and which is presumably RWC. And then they go on to confirm that RWC will help you navigate every step of the process to build a space that reflects who you are. So then again, it tailors it back to who they are, their journey. They're here for them, like it's their project. It's what they want to get done. It's what they need to get done. And so communicating that back to them, and you'll see like that's kind of all throughout here, and even down here in like these three steps: we listen, we inform, we deliver. Reassurance, yes, we'll educate you, and we're a solid and consistent company, and we deliver. And then you have like the testimonials here to kind of confirm that. It's so yeah. So this site does a really good job, and again, I like your site. I really like the visuals. I like how immersive that is, which I totally skipped that up here because your site does a good job with that. But I do think like putting like kind of what you do in like bullet points or something like that down along the bottom could be beneficial, and then rewording this, so like kind of consolidating this to something simpler, and then rewording that to kind of connect with the customer more, and then kind of like looking at how can we do that throughout here where we're talking less about ourselves and more about like how we come alongside them to get the project done, and it's a whole different sense. And again, I think that's like what people do in a live sales situation. But when it comes to a website, it's like, oh yeah, it's like a billboard. But it really should be more like your very first sale, like the very first contact who needs to be like a sales partner. Like your website should be, communicating those things that you would normally communicate, like and easing the customer and all that. So yeah, so I think if you want to go into a deeper dive on this, oh, and I like the fact you have a materials calculator. That's really good. And you could even get people's email address with that. We've seen people do that. So yep. So this is my website, blue-phoenix.net. You can go down here and look at like our process, which is strategy, branding, marketing, and web design. It doesn't have to go in that order. That is probably the ideal order. But people jump in and they like we need a little bit of web work done. Branding, whatever. And so you can reach me 857-209-4495. You can text or call. You can also email sales at blue-phoenix.net, or you can hop over here to the schedule a strategy session area and pick a time. And we can hop on a call. I can answer any questions you have, and maybe we can discuss changes. And I noticed you have another site as well, which I didn't really get into, but yeah, we can kind of like touch base on all that and figure out what your needs are and answer any questions you have. So I appreciate your time. Have a good day.